Hero Network. And alongside with me is my co-host, Victor Escalante.
Vicky, good morning. You're pretty peppy this morning.
It's not peppy, it's called just energy. I am on the go this morning, Victor. It's a lot happening.
So what's happening? Give us an update.
So I'm sure that, viewers, you may have heard about the tragic situation that happened, the tragedy that happened over Milby High School with a young 15-year-old Sergio Rodriguez who was hit by a train. And there's just so much happening. We are organizing, or the family's organizing, a prayer vigil. There's conversations happening, in Thrives of Solutions for the train or process, right? And how to get the kids over and the safety of the children when it comes to train fatalities.
That's our focus, is children's improvement, betterment, and families.
Safety,
So whatever efforts we get involved in, it's because we are focused on the children and the families.
Absolutely. And it hurts, though, because in times like this is where controversies, strife comes, division comes. And because, someone has to take the hit of the game. And guess what happens? Nothing. Whether it's at home, whether it's in the community, whether it's in the schools, and the ones that are suffering are the children. And this is where Victor and I have taken on the steps to saying, you know what, enough is enough. What are we doing about it, Houston? What are we doing about Texas? What are we doing about it, United States of America? There are solutions, okay? And so enough of that, but that, I don't want to get into making commercials or anything like that, because it's not about that. What this is about, putting and instilling the values back into our schools and homes and the lives of our community. And we need you to be a part of the movement of what we're doing with the Hero Student Program. So that's happening alongside with our graduation next week, prepping for that.
Yes.
We're having the Hero to Heroes event that's happening over at the Servants of Christ Church, 3827 Broadway. Really excited about that. Learn more about it. And the last episode we had, Victor and I. In the meantime, I'm going to just, Victor, is there anything you want to add before we bring on the guest? Okay, Houston. Harris County, we know that we had Adrian Garcia listed as our viewer and our guest, our special guest here today. That didn't happen because if we know the commissioner, he is on the go. In the meantime, we have Tico Houseman.
Good morning.
Hey, Mama. I was like, look at her smile.
You're making me smile.
It's like,
infectious, get it. Your energy.
Aw. No. I mean, it's just Victor. I'm like Victor's like saying it's like the energy.
We need you to step up to the mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So tell us, Tico, what is your position with Commissioner Garcia's office?
First of all, thank you all for having me.
We're
and
happy to help you.
The commissioner sends his regrets. He is breaking ground on an important infrastructure project today, so he looks forward to visiting soon. But at the precinct, I serve as Deputy Chief of Staff of Operations. And so what that means is I oversee most of the forward-facing services. So that would be community centers, parks, our programming, which includes our senior programs, our teen camps, our business development efforts. I oversee our Veteran Center, and the non-affiliated or the affiliated nonprofit Precinct Together is also under my leadership.
I love Precinct Together.
Yeah. They are a sponsor of Hero.
Yes, they are, and we wanted to show, actually, we created a video together to show what exactly the funds and the support that Adrian Garcia and the Precinct gave us.
Yes.
Can we show that now?
Yeah, let's roll it.
Okay, so if Aliento, Jose, can you just show this video? And Adrian, I know I shared it with you. And community, just check it out. Look at all the work that we've been able, or Victor and I with the Hero Program, community partners have been able to.
And our team,
our team, our volunteers. Thank you. Ira, we love you.
Roll the tape.
Roll the tape.
Lives of children by instilling core values that prepare them for a brighter future.
In 2024, the HERO program continues to transform the lives of children by instilling core values that prepare them for a brighter future. HERO stands for helpful, encouraging, respectful, and on task. Principles that empower young minds to thrive in their schools, homes, and communities. Being helpful means lending a hand when someone needs it, whether in the classroom, at home, or in the community. In 2024, the HERO students stepped up to help the Poncho Claus movement with toy drives and fundraising. HERO embodies much-needed values. Encouragement builds confidence, showing others that their efforts matter. Respect forms the foundation for positive relationships, teaching students to value themselves and those around them. And staying on task ensures focus and determination to achieve their goals. Essentially, HERO is a growth mindset. The HERO program is changing lives. One student shared, "Before HERO, I didn't know how to express myself. Now, I feel confident and inspired to help others." A parent added, "This program has given my child a sense of purpose and direction, and teachers have seen the ripple effect of HERO values, creating classrooms filled with kindness, focus, and collaboration." In 2024, the HERO program impacted over 1,000 lives, nurturing a generation of young leaders who embrace their potential and inspire others to do the same. This impact would not be possible without the generosity of our sponsors and donors. Your support has brought the HERO values to life, helping us empower the next generation of leaders. Thank you for believing in our mission and making a difference in the lives of so many young people. Join us in continuing this legacy. Be a hero. Support the program today. Together, we can create a brighter future.
Okay.
So you ready to do Heart to Precinct to Thrive?
Precinct to Thrive, Hearts. And so thank you all so much. And we'll get this video out on our Mission One USA page and, Alento Radio. I'm sure that they'll be more than happy to share it out there as well. And of course, tag Thrive Together and Commissioner Adrian Garcia. So thank you all so much for your support.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, there were so many stories that came out or that is coming out for the HERO program. And here shortly, we'll talk about the HERO program. But what we want to do is community share with you the resources available to our families. And as Tico just mentioned, that there's tons of resources for veterans, right? I'm a veteran, a veteran daughter. So very important, or child, and etc. So that we hear out exactly what Harris County Precinct 2 offers for our community. So Tico?
Yes, so Precinct Together actually is the programming arm for Precinct 2. And so the funds that we raise go towards youth camps, our senior programs, our meal programs, all the wonderful things that Commissioner Adrian Garcia is able to do in the community, including our turkey drive that we just finished, where we gave away 2,600 turkeys throughout Precinct 2. It was very exciting. So, with veterans, we have a veteran center out in Channelview, and so we have drop-in days on Wednesdays. Otherwise, you can make an appointment. You can come in. Our workforce division is also located out in that veteran center, and so you can get resume support, mock interviews. We have partners who are always reaching out to us looking for jobs, but we're really proud as well of our partnerships with the community colleges out in the Clear Lake area. You know, a young adult could take a certification for 8 months and walk out with a six-figure job. And so as Precinct 2 has a pretty low college attainment rate, these are something that we're focusing on to ensure that the community and our young adults have an opportunity at a good career, at home ownership, and wealth. And so these things all intermingle with Precinct Together, and it provides us the resources to give the community an extra leg up.
I know some of the statistics in that area because I did a political report on some of the graduation rates and the income disparity. So I'm very familiar with that. And why don't you go ahead and tell our viewers Commissioner Garcia's commitment to raise up the household income, the education, housing, support for veterans. Why is that so important to him? Again, because of his history and background.
I think everybody knows Commissioner Garcia is a servant leader. He always has been from his days at City Council. He has always been for the people. We have a saying in the office, I won't say it, but he encourages us to think outside of the box when it comes to solutions. And so one of the things I would like to add in regards to some of the disparities is that the Precinct 2 residents on average live less than 20 years than most of Harris County.
Wow.
And that's due to the disparities and additionally to the lack of health.
Sure.
And so one of the initiatives is called our Access to Health. So we have 2 health pods in the community, and the premise of that is to be preventative, right? One of Commissioner Garcia's desires is to ensure that there's a hospital in Precinct 2. So that's a legacy project, something that he's really working on. But in the interim, by providing free screenings for mammograms, dental care, vaccinations for children, women's exams for women. The goal is to help the community be a little bit more, hopefully we don't end up in these situations of needing a trauma care center if we can tackle the disparities on the front end and make sure that everyone has access to basic health services.
I was Vicky and I were at a meeting when they were having a community gathering of different agencies and entities, stakeholders, for the funding, federal funding for early childhood education and early childhood services. And there was a statistic that the commissioner, he was there speaking, that brought out that is really alarming. He said that something to the effect that I won't say the specific figures because I know I'll get them wrong, but essentially the majority, when he was sheriff, the majority of inmates lack a high school education. And the statistics in the federal penitentiary, in the Texas penitentiary system, it's even 10 more points higher than the local jail. Bottom line is, without an education, you are on a path to being in the criminal justice system. Now, that's a broad generalization, but generally it's going to be true because, again, you are at a disadvantage. You cannot succeed in life. And so, the breakdown in everything leads to a life of crime.
And I think that's why these initiatives are important. With our workforce division, we have a internship program. We just celebrated our 3rd cohort. 119 students have gone through that program, and it's a paid internship where they're able to get exposure with potential, careers in government, because people don't really think. They think, oh, government, but if you do marketing, the government needs that. If you're an accountant, and the government is one of the few entities left where you can get a pension and 401k and all those lovely things that our younger generation may not understand. But a young person who starts their first career at the county, they can retire and have a second career by the time they're 30.
Right. Now, I have a question now. During the COVID pandemic, there was a lot of, distraction, or a lot of just issues that happened, arose, whether it was at home, whether lost loved ones, and just socio-emotional dysfunctions that occurred. What is it that Precinct 2 has done with the change or the impact that COVID-19, outside of course vaccinations and all that was provided? Is there anything else provided to our community to help fill the gaps for those needs of for our children or families?
It's interesting because COVID seems so long ago, but the impact is still being felt today. And, some of the county as a whole stepped up pretty big, but specifically in Precinct 2, we've provided meals for people, again, access to more health care, access to opportunity with our business owners. We implemented a capacity building program to help them build their businesses and be able to successfully compete and win for government contracts. And so, You know, the thing that I appreciate about the commissioner is everything he do is holistic, right? It's for everybody, and
It's
so
systemic.
and our focus, you know, as an organization is the entire family. That's
Right.
our task with our programming. Is what are we doing to improve the lives of every single citizen, from our little baby toddlers all the way to our senior citizens who we provide meals for. We have a very robust senior program where we will take them on trips and they go to museums. And again, that's just one of the social determinants of, you know, social engagement and aging gracefully. And so we like to provide, because some of the people, for example, with our conjugate meal program, our drivers are the only communication that they have with a person in an entire day.
Wow.
And so many of these senior citizens, we have about 125, have been on our program for years, and these drivers are like family to them.
What about families in Precinct 2? You have a lot of initiatives for families. I follow the commissioner on our social media page. What can you tell us about news related to events for families in Precinct 2?
So we do, on our website, you can go to hcp2.com, and we have a online directory of all the classes and things that we do. And so each community center, we have 10, and the managers create the programming based around their community needs and what the communities they serve want to see. And so, for example, out in J.D. Walker in the Channelview area, we are getting ready to open a teen center. That was a partnership with Comcast where we will actually provide a podcast space for them,
Awesome.
a stage, and really trying to encourage more digital literacy. And so that's an initiative that's across the line, no matter whether you're a senior or, you know, middle-aged. Technology is changing the way we do things. And I'll give you an example. When we had the winter storm, one of the things that we did not anticipate when it came to people filing claims for reimbursement for FEMA is that they didn't have internet or computers or things of that. And so generally in Precinct 2, we have to go the extra mile to reach our constituents because they're working, they're not in front of social media. And so it takes a little extra effort to ensure that they know, you know, what opportunities and what things we're doing because they're so busy working hard. We have to be able to fill in the gap. Hey, come to the community center. We've got FEMA representatives here, and they will help you do your application. And, you know, we also recently just implemented, we're doing more food programs. And so we have a relationship with Common Market because we are in a food desert. And so you can go to the community centers and receive free boxes of food. We also have started engaging in our own agriculture out at our Challenger 7. So we're experimenting with technology to grow lettuce like in 30 days.
Wow.
We've got chickens. And so again, we are trying to fill in the gaps for the community. You know, if you can come and grab a box of food, that saves you a little bit of money, right? As expensive as things are. And so again, we are always just trying
I'm
to
actually familiar with the organization that you mentioned.
Agriculture?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the other one. Because I spoke with their executive director on another function, that they are actually trucking directly from the farms, from the where the
stocks.
produce is grown, directly from there straight to distribution. They have their own distribution, and they're distributing to community centers, so that you're cutting out all the bureaucracy and all the middlemen. So this is an initiative that is feeding our community families as a result of that infrastructure.
So going back to the agriculture, tell us about that piece right there.
So interestingly enough, you know, we're piloting the Grow Food. And so our goal, long-term commissioner's goal, is to, we hope to start putting them in each of the centers and educating our constituents. And so the Grow Towers are pretty inexpensive, and so we're looking at how we can provide those through the nonprofit. And basically, it's urban farming, for lack of a better word, and it's hydroponic, which
No soil, right?
no soil, right, right.
Yeah.
And
I saw that
and the
at,
other thing
at
is
Disney World.
it can grow inside, and so why is that important? Elements, right?
Yeah,
So
sure.
if we have a major storm, your crop's not going to get
Right.
knocked out,
Right.
right? You could still eat, and
Right.
so. we've experimented with how quickly we can grow, what grows well. And so we have what we call second Saturdays, and the community centers are closed on the weekends. And so we're starting to open on second Saturdays, where we'll have food, produce, cooking demonstrations, workforce. Again, just bringing the community back, because one of the things we realized is one of the reasons we weren't open was because of COVID. Right. So we're having to kind of look and meet the demand of the people, right? 8 to 5 may not be what's best. We may need to look at evenings. If we're offering a yoga class, you have to go to work and then you can go to yoga class. And how can we offer childcare? So again, it's just this constant effort to improve the lives of those who live, work, and play in Precinct 2.
Now, question for you. So is this the Aldine, the Baker Ripley that you're talking about?
No, so Challenger 7 is actually out in the Webster area. And it is I don't know how many acres. It's huge. And speaking of, it's so much. That's why I really want to make sure that folks are following us on social media and keeping up with the websites. Out at Challenger 7, we offer family camp out in the spring, and so we actually even provide the tents and those things. Courtesy.
I can just see Hero tents.
Exactly. I'm thinking like, oh my God, that sounds like a field trip.
Yeah. And so we teach fishing and archery, and so what you'll see next year is a larger array of recreational opportunities for young adults and
nice.
Yeah,
seniors alike. Yeah, it's a really exciting time, and
we're gonna heroize that.
Yeah, you are.
Exactly.
I mean, there's so many of our programs, right? I would love to see some of your folks come through our internship or our Young Leaders Academy.
That'd be great.
Absolutely.
Just building on the work and creating avenues of success for your young adults.
Oh, that's so
That would be great.
Yeah. That is so nice, because that's what we were
and
just
then we
thinking
can send
about.
them home with food too.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you go. There you go.
We'd really love that, especially the families that we serve.
Yes.
Right now, we've just got Victor. I haven't even shared this with Victor. I know that I shared that we have one more apartment that we're going to be targeting, all in Precinct 2, and just last night we were asked to do another 5 more. But I said, let me just look at 3 for now of those apartments to decide which one and how we want to just strategically map out these events and these days.
This is about as grassroots as you can get, to where we're actually in the families' apartments where they live. We're teaching their children the HERO program, and we're teaching them community awareness to be helpful in the community, to pick up trash, to be aware of, to develop an awareness, to reduce crime, and all kinds of positive byproducts as a result of teaching the students.
And there's been positive change with that. I mean, positive change, less crime, less vandalism. So yes, it's very effective when these kids embrace the HERO values, not just at home, but at school and the community.
I love that. And that's in alignment with Commissioner Garcia's overall effort, Revive to Thrive. And so one of the things he did when he first came into office was community studies of unincorporated Harris County. And so, as we know, Webster Clear Lake, it's growing. And so one of the initiatives that Commissioner wants to make sure happens is that the community grows, that it isn't, I hate to use the word, but gentrification, but how do we become part of the growth and not have it take over? And so that is the essence of what Revive to Thrive. And that goes along with what you're saying, is having pride in your neighborhood and your communities. We don't want folks to try to hurry up and get out of their communities, right? We want to make the roads, safe. We want to make sure you can afford a home, so that when you get that good paying job, you stay in your community.
Right.
You don't try to hurry up and get out of Precinct 2. We want you to stay in Precinct 2.
Absolutely. One of the other initiatives that Victor and I work on with the HERO program that I think it's very essential for our youth today and families, right, is the on-task portion, which I think it's like, so much needed, because many of our students and children and families, right, they raised out of single parenting, is the on task with teaching children vision. We
were just at Millby last week, and I was freaked out because our future is so misguided and lost, and they also lack the basic skills These are high school kids, ninth grade, 10th grade, with no communication skills. None. No communication skills to answer basic questions. Zero engagement, that I had to pull teeth to get engagement, but we were able to get it. And we had a handful of students that they stepped up, that they said, we would like to receive the help that with the HERO program.
Yeah, the first class was kind of tough, and then as we were just going, we took on another class, and the third class, and I think that the third class was a little bit more flexible. But either, you know, we are going to now launch on January the 11th, Tico, our HERO Teen Academy, right there in our precinct 2. So we would love to work with you, collaborate on trying to see how we can just work in bringing our children into a safer, better place, a more clearer mindset, you know, to how to thrive, and teaching them a roadmap of success.
That's fantastic. Congratulations. And, you know, that is a focus for us next year, specifically are the youth. You know, it's easy for the other programming, but like you said, the communication, and I know it's technology, but I think COVID exacerbated that lack of communication. I struggle with my son, who is a junior now, with teaching him those skills, because his formative years, he was at home.
We lost a generation.
He was at home.
Yeah.
And so it really is a challenge. And so we are also working in partnership with another nonprofit on a youth build grant. And I don't know if that's something that you all have heard of, but basically it's Opportunity Youth. And one of the requirements is you have to be a high school dropout, but we teach you a trade. And so Precinct Together partnered with Sunset Methodist in Pasadena, as well as 8 Million Stories, and we'll have 2 cohorts next year, ages 16 to 24, but included in your trade is experience. It also has wraparound services, because we know with that comes mental health and things of that nature. And so again, I think it's a tremendous opportunity to expand and collaborate on making sure our Opportunity Youth aren't left behind.
You're talking her language.
It's like, yes. I mean, you know, I've been doing wraparound before wraparound was wraparound. I think.
Right, before it was a word, right?
Before it was a word. It was just a simple, basic finding the needs. I think, you know, when I look at, you know, I'm a believer, right? And Christ did wraparound when he picked up the Samaritan, right? And he had to place him, and, you know, found him on the streets. And that was my journey, was just going alongside the streets of Houston and just finding and doing wraparound for these shelters. Because, you know, when I would drop off someone in need, it was like not even within a week, I'm like, well, what happened? You were just in this shelter, right? So they would just basically come back out. And I learned, after doing some assessments, I'm like, you know what, something's not right here. You know, there's a lack of education, a lack of vision. And so I started to just, you know, work the wraparound skills in the shelters and what have you. But behold, I joined the school district later to say, someone reached out and said, Vicki, would you want to do wraparound? And then when I saw the wraparound and the needs in the school district, I'm like, wow, if we do not take on these lives, if we do not take on, you know, solutions for these little ones, I mean, we are going to be in trouble. Right? And if we do not bring on the unity that we need, we are going to be in trouble.
We're there.
You know, it doesn't matter. And one thing that I tell people all the time, I'm like, listen, guys, we are not taking debit cards, voter cards. We're not taking brown, black, white, yellow, purple skin with us, because somebody's dyeing hair purple. They're probably dyeing their skin. I'm just joking. Point is that we are not taking anything with us. And so right now, it's the point, we are at the place where it's like, listen, I believe that we are united, and that Houston, we have the people, we have what it takes to always be Houston strong. Victor loves talking about Houston strong.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, the saying is not only just be somebody, and Houston, we have a problem. No, we have a solution. Okay?
That's right.
We have a solution if we focus on solutions. We have some of the brightest minds that we can pull together, and that's the vision behind HERO Network, is let's work together. We can do more. Let's pull together the initiatives, the mindset and the resources to make it happen.
There's just no way, and I've told this to people, our residents. I said, there's no way that our politicians can do this alone. If you're expecting the change to come through the politicians, it can't happen. They have, granted,
they can drive it.
They can drive it. They've
Yeah.
got the funding for it.
Yeah.
They have the funding. The politicians do have the funding and the resources and the mindsets and the team. However, when you're working grassroots in this kind of level that we are at, it is not easy. It's not easy to, from getting the support. Victor, you want to talk about, if there's any issues that come to mind, it becomes challenging. But it's a resilience that the community, we have to keep pushing and pushing forward for your children, for your grandchildren.
And kudos to Precinct to what I was calling it Thrive. It's Precinct
So Precinct Together is a nonprofit.
Okay.
The initiative is Revive to Thrive.
Revive to Thrive. Okay. So again, we're speaking the same language in that it takes a community.
It takes a community.
It takes a community, and it takes all the stakeholders to come together, to work together to find solutions. Because if we don't do that, our children, we're going to lose more generations. It's a straight line to the criminal justice system. And again, families are torn up and hurt when we don't have that kind of vision 10, 20, 30 years down the road.
Let me ask you, totally on point, Victor. Tico, let me ask you this question. What about upcoming, I know you talked about youth initiatives and what have you for Precinct 2 coming up. Now, are there any, for the rest of the year, anything happening with Precinct 2?
We do stuff,
Every day.
a year round, every day. Our senior programming is Monday through Friday in every single community center. We offer, and in fact, it's different levels. So it's not just coffee and crafts. It is literacy. It is. We recently partnered with the county attorney to talk about wills and how to make sure your business is in order before you leave this earth and things of that nature. And for workforce, that's across the board. I am so excited about the opportunities in Precinct 2, particularly out in Clear Lake in the space economy and the manufacturing. Those folks are coming here.
We're talking aerospace.
All the things, right?
Yes.
And so Axiom, I was at a groundbreaking for the Space Institute at Texas A&M, and there's folks out there, I think it's Axiom that are building the next spacesuit. And so they're literally training the next workforce. And so what's interesting is we had a mixer for our alumni at I don't want to say it right, TRX Labs. I'm missing a letter out in the East End Hub Maker. And one of the things that the students were saying is, we appreciate the program because it gives us experience. We needed the experience. But the gentleman who led the tour reminded them, with these emerging industries, you guys have a leg up. You don't need, nobody knows how to do this.
Yeah.
And so, look towards technology, look towards the future, because that is where your opportunity lies. You're not going to compete back here.
Right.
And quite frankly, we don't need you here. We need you forward implementing the AI technologies to help us do things better, more faster, and just smarter.
That's the world we live in, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's the world we live in.
that one set really resonated with me. And so that is what I would say to young people who are feeling like, I don't have a career path, I don't have a future. You have one.
Yes.
That's
right.
waiting for you, a brand new one.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And that's the message that we do take in. And right now, Victor and I and our team, not just ourselves, but our team, we take in to anywhere where we can find our children, our youth. Right. And then the great thing about it too is it's building fortifying the bond between the families. And so, as we know that there's resources out there provided by Precinct 2, but it's just like Victor says, is that together, that's what it takes, is together. And we've got to rise up. And we're excited. We too are going to be launching here shortly in the next, I say 2 months. It's like,
I think it's actually shorter, Vicky, because I spoke with our developer.
oh, did you?
Yeah.
So, okay, so it's going to
Go ahead and let the cat out of the bag.
So we have our Hero AI taking in the expertise that we have alongside with our engineer developers to
Yes.
create the Hero AI. and it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
And so we're so excited to be partnered in and collaborating with our partners, the VIC Group, and so many others that are just watching and waiting. I mean, some of our people where we've actually facilitated the Hero Student Program says, when is this AI coming in? Like, we really need to get the AI because it's going to really help us measure the metrics that they need. And so we're looking forward. We're looking forward to it, to meeting with all these wonderful people tonight. Today we have a meeting with the FBI.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, to work with them. And then we just met with some state appointed people, and we're just like really looking forward. I mean, we want to sit with Adrian to say, Adrian, listen, we have a solution. We have a solution. You know, and we really hope that Adrian, you know, I know we're scheduled and hoping to have that coffee soon. You know, John Whitmire, we need to meet with you before, you know,
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay, so we have 2 minutes left. Tico.
Yes.
What else? Look at that camera right now. Not just talk to Precinct 2, and you're talking to Houston and Harris County and actually the whole nation and world. What is it that you would like to say from Tico's heart and Tico's Precinct 2? Because I want them to know your heart, because I know you are passionate about people.
I am. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I know it feels like we're very divided, but that's what I appreciate about Houston. And you mentioned Houston Strong. There is so much opportunity, so much prosperity here in Houston. Our elected officials are working together to make the most of the various funding. And so my heart is, you know, it's a great time to be alive, right? I know we've got these issues and these things, but that's part of growth. That's part of evolving as a civilization. And we just need to collaborate, work together. I think at the end of the day, we all want what's best for our families. We, you know, worship together. And I just think there's so much more that binds us than divides us. And to your point, I hope we never lose sight of that, and let's not be pitted against each other. Let's just work together for the greater good. And
all politics is local. And
it
so
really is. It
unless
really
you
is.
really get involved locally,
It is.
you can't have a voice. You can't be at the table. So get involved.
Please get involved. We need you. Our school districts need
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
There's so much change happening, and I think people don't realize their voice does matter, and the politicians are listening. And so we are making pivotal decisions as a entity and as a county and as a state. And so resist the urge to pull out, lean in.
Absolutely. I totally agree, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate you being here, especially with short notice with our commissioner. What I want to share with you all before we sign off. Last night, I was over at the Crime Stoppers meeting that they had the first Tuesday of every month from victims and families who have suffered a loss due to homicide. Most of these homicides, these incidents that happened in the month of December. I was just writing. I started to write all the incidents down.
Sure.
Community, it was happening, and the tears and the grief is real. We are in the middle of our holidays, and we're starting a new year. There's people that are hurting out there. There's people that are grieving losses. I'm sure that Adrian Garcia has resources for that. There's resources that are out there. Call 211. We know that suicide is the second leading cause of death in America.
With children as little as 10 years old.
10 years old.
Yeah.
10 to 34 years old is the peak. I am begging and pleading to please, you know, reach out to loved ones, neighbors. If you know that your neighbors may not come out, go knock on their door and bring them out. You know, love on them. This is the time. I mean, I just saw the pain and the agony in these lives, and I said, man, we've got to do something. So Houston, we love you. If you're watching this show and, you know, you just feel some sort of discouragement, we're here for you. There's a number down here in the bottom that I'm sure that, yes, there's a number right there. Thank you, Jose, with Talento Radio for just making that number known. You can call in, dial in, reach out to us on Mission One USA. We know that we love you, we care, we believe in you. We believe in the mission of being unity in the community. So let's not stop. You know, Tico, thank you again. Victor, what are your final words?
I'm good.
He's always good. He's so sweet. This is the best work husband here. He is the best work husband. You know, I don't know if ladies, I'm just joking. We're not going to go there. We're just talking about holiday seasons. Yeah. But this brother here, he's awesome. He's a good, sweet friend. And the Lord's really working in his heart.
Yes, he is. I'm a believer.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. So, Victor, come on, wrap it up here for the Houston, the Hero Network.
Friends, as we are wrapping up this show and wrapping up the year, I want to reiterate what Vicky said, is there is hope. The last thing to die is hope, so don't give up hope. If you need a boost of hope, contact us because we got it.
That's right. Hero Network, thank you, and we love you. Aliento Radio, follow us on Aliento Radio.